how do you advise me on the hiring process for sales reps? Let's start there.
I think fit. It's like, how do you buy a suit? It doesn't really matter, like the color or the fat. It's like, does it fit you? Was it bespoke? Was it made for your frame? Right. So for me, it depends on the account. And so you look at a spectrum of like SMB to strategic sales, the answer is going to be wildly different. I'll probably talk about the enterprise component, which is top end of commercial to strategic. So for me, it's about fit. So if I've got an account that has multiple reps on it, the team chemistry is really difficult, but I always want the closer up front because they have to carry it all the way from one end of the field all the way down. But I'm also going to want to bring in like a visionary. Sometimes they're more academic, they're super right brain, very creative. They can build a vision and bring the organization along. They may not be as comfortable closing. And then the third profile of people I want to pick up is the person that wants to go hunt and take down every deal. It's like see a bear, shoot a bear. That's not something that I was like super talented at. I wanted to go kind of big game hunting, but if you're going to run an and business, you need a collection of those different skills and you put them all together. So like you want to find those people and then at a chemistry level, figure out, can they work together or do you have two alphas? If you have two alphas, it's never going to work. And so like, and I've screwed this up a few times, by the way.
I want to touch on how you screw it up, but I just want to stay on the hiring specifically. So when you're interviewing reps, do you try and not box them, but put them in a bucket and understand you're a visionary, you're a killer bear, shooter bear, you're a closer? Like, how do you advise me on hiring these three different profiles?
Yeah, it's like, if you ask them what their passions are, what they're most proud of, like, what's a deal where they create a demand that never existed before, someone's either going to get excited and passionate, or they're going to look at you like you've got two heads. You ask those qualifying questions, it's very easy to determine, like segmentation wise, where do they fit in? And because you always need people that are going to go do create and close. That's required, full stop, for any software firm. But if you're going to move into the enterprise and do material deals that are going to break records, you've got to have a closer that's super passionate. So I just ask those qualifying questions and people will make that answer super easy to follow.
You said create demand that's never existed before. When we chatted before, you said this was one of the most important skills you look for. Can you just explain what that means to me and how I should look for it?
Yeah, so when we talked about the TAM example where demand is known or unknown, I think like, how do you create money that doesn't exist? You go look at the demand that's inbound, and then you look at the latent demand that doesn't exist. That's an immediate way to increase the TAM that you're pursuing without hiring any more people. And so like when I think of creating demand that doesn't exist and you ask someone that, what I mean by that is, what problems does a customer have that they don't understand how to solve where you've created an answer to them? So go back to like the Frank Slootman example, right? He worked with different firms where he'd ask clients what they thought about the product and they were using it in very diverse ways that surprised the organization. So at a product level, they're like, hey, we didn't design it that way, but customers are using it here. Well, like lean in on that and ask them, well, how are you using it? Why are you using it that way? You go back and align that to the long range plans of the organization. Chances are there's a big gap in execution where they've got a big vision and a big target. They don't know how to get there. So how do you take a malleable platform and create a vision around it that says, oh, you're trying to align and move up market? What if you had better insight into the customer profile that you're pursuing? And then you align a malleable platform and create a solution that says, we can help you get better visibility into how to pursue that. So you're chasing larger deals and you're moving up market to the enterprise segment. And now all of a sudden you're a consultant and you're not starting with tech, you're ending with technology. So for me, it's like every conversation starts with, through the lens of the customer and great empathy, what are they trying to do? And then how do we reverse engineer the product to fit it? It never starts with product.